Welcome to Positivity is the Way to Go. He is a mastermind behind Robia Sports, the Orioles and the Ravens, websites and podcasts. Welcome my guest today, Charles Harris. How's it going, man?
How's it going, Dion? Good to talk to you from the Windy City there. I think that's right.
Well, yeah. I'm in a windy city. So,
Yeah.
you also said I also want to talk about suggestions. So, if you have any suggestions about my name for my show, maybe people, the audience, they could talk, give me some suggestions in the comment section at the video or during the video, afterwards, if they like the name or don't like the name, because I know you brought that up before, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was trying to
So,
just understand the name. I was just
oh,
trying to
okay.
understand the name. I don't think it's very unique. I don't think I've ever heard it before. So, yeah, I'm just trying to understand it. So,
Yeah, so let's talk about the Ravens. Do you think that it's Lamar Jackson's fault why the Ravens lost?
wasn't his fault, but again, it wasn't his best day. You gotta. I'm saying this though, and I know a lot of Raven fans are mad at me when I'm saying this. He doesn't play well in cold weather. That's just the long and the short of it. You're playing games in January. You got to do better when it's cold. Andrews dropping passes, so it wasn't just him. Andrews, I think, was a bigger culprit of it, but it's too cold. These guys got to play well in January. You can't not play well in January. You can't drop passes and have a bad day like this against a good Buffalo team. Didn't even really have that good of a day. Josh Allen didn't have a 200 yards rushing or anything like that, or 200 yards in the air. Light you up, and you still couldn't win the game, even though you won statistically because you kept turning the ball over. Too many giveaways.
Yeah, but Tua for the Dolphins, he tough in the cold too as well. He can't get it done at all. He like 1-8 in the cold weather when it's 20 degrees or lower.
Some guys just don't play well in cold weather, and that's not going to work. You're not going to go to Buffalo of all places. I mean, if you've ever been to Buffalo, it's one of the coldest places anywhere in the United States. That's not going to work, and I think that's a factor. It seems silly to some people, but it's a whole different game. Whole different game. Like he dropped the pass when Andrews dropped the pass. You can't double clutch it and catch it, and still it's too cold. You can't get your feet on you. You gotta haul it in when you can get it.
Well, sounds good. What do you think they should do in the off season?
I think that the biggest concern is the offensive line for me. I think you're probably going to lose Ronnie Stanley, your left tackle, and I think you'll probably lose some other interior guys. I think that's the number one priority in the draft. I think they definitely have to do that. I think they probably look at cornerbacks too. I don't think we're going to be lucky enough to get Travis Hunter or Will Johnson, but I think definitely that's a spot they're going to look. They probably lose Brandon Stevens. So those are the two big spots as well. Maybe safety as well. Get some help
Well,
from
yeah,
Kyle Hamilton.
well, Ronnie Stanley may go to the Patriots because they got 120 million in cap space. So the Patriots, I think they're gonna be in the playoffs next year, man. With the coaching staff, I think that they ain't left for dead no more. They're a competent team. So
They
they may have a
good
run
coach.
again.
They have a good coach now too. They have Mike Vrabel is a really good
Well, yeah,
coach.
and they
They,
going and they got 120 million, and then they got a top four draft pick, so they're gonna be in a playoff team next year.
yeah, you think about it. They could sign T. Higgins and Stanley with
Yep.
120 million under the cap. They could sign two or three really good free agents with all that money. I've been telling people about the Patriots. I agree with you about the Patriots and all that cap space. You can sign a lot of players with that. You sign three,
Well,
four
yeah, and
studs.
then and they got a good quarterback. The quarterback is the most important position in all the sports. So let's talk about what are your early expectations for the Orioles?
I think the Orioles should do well. I don't know if they're as good as they've been the last couple of years. Last conversation we had is like, how are we going to keep up with the Yankees? Um,
Yeah.
I don't think they've had as good of an all season as I had hoped, but they're still good. I think a solid team. I have them like as a playoff team, not like as a World Series team. Rotation decent, lineup decent. They have a superstar Gunnar Henderson. I think Adley is great, but I think like I don't think they get any further than they've already been, which is like playoffs. And I don't think you're up there with the Dodgers and the Mets and the Diamondbacks and those teams, like the really elite teams.
Well saying. So let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. Do you think, or do you think that they are villains?
I don't like them. I don't particularly like Kansas City. Kansas City, I think, is a good team, though. I mean, I don't think there's any taken away. I think a lot of us are tired of Kansas City. Like we've seen the whole Taylor Swift thing. I'm over it. As good as Kelsey is, I think clearly the refs are giving him the benefit of the doubt. I don't think it's cheating or fixed, but I definitely think kind of like with great basketball. You know, Jordan got away with traveling for years in the NBA. Kobe got away with those elbows, and they do the same thing with Mahomes. You hit them, and it's I think they do get help from the refs, but I don't think people like the Chiefs outside of Nick Wright or any other Kansas City fans.
Well, yeah. He always on the TV talking about they gonna win it all, never a doubt, you know. And he always, it's like he holding a jock and everything, man. Did he become one of the football players or something?
He's friends with some of those guys. I know he's friends with Kelsey. You're talking about Nick Wright. I know that, but he's from Kansas City.
Yeah, but he still kiss their butt all the time, man.
Well, yeah, but they keep winning too. It's not like they're not. It's not like the same way. Like I used to say the same thing with with your Bulls there when Jordan was there. Everybody all of a sudden love Mike. Well, it's easy to love him when he keep on winning every year. It's the same type thing.
Well, why do you think the referees favored him? Like in the Bills game, they had a bad call. It was a bad spot. He got the first down clearly. He was over the line, and then that word he catch, that wasn't a catch at all. That hit the ball, hit the ground. That wasn't no touchdown catch. And then it was another call when he be getting hit. He actually be bringing contact to him. So he be selling a lot of calls. He be flopping a lot, like in soccer. You know, I don't know why they don't flag him. And the thing is, the referees always bail them out with calls. It don't matter what game it is. Like, that's how they won the Super Bowls. Like the Eagles game before, it was 38-35. He did not grab him at all. They was letting contact going throughout the game. And they just basically called the game so they get a winning field goal. I don't know why the referees are so. Do they pay the referees? I don't know.
Great teams get those calls. Great players get those calls. Like the worst one I thought in the Bills game was the interception that wasn't called when they had the tie up when the defensive guy actually got the ball and they called it a tie and they say, well, it was a tie. He took that ball from him and they called that a catch. I thought that was horrible. I thought that was even worse than the spots. Spots get messed up, but it's because of the greatness of Mahomes. But players, that happens. Right or wrong, that's how it is.
Yeah, but I don't think they're a great team. I think that they epitome of the league not being so good and people not being able to beat him at all, because even the Knicks back then with the Bulls, when they was playing good, they still beat them twice or three times in Detroit too. So it was always a kryptonite in the team that beat them, you know. So I don't know. I think they're a good team. They got a good quarterback and good coach and everything. But I think some of it is the referees helping them out, and some of them, the other teams beating themselves. And they basically sweating and falling under pressure when they play them.
He lost to Tom Brady 1 year in New England. New England went and beat him, and Cincinnati went and beat him. So he's not unbeatable. I mean, we've seen that. And he lost the Super Bowl in Tampa, I think, as well. Yeah. So they're not unbeatable. I think this Kansas City team is better than what people think. I think we keep saying that because the receivers are far worse. They used to have Tyreek Hill and could score all those points, and it's not that way anymore. Their defense is really, really good. McDuffie at corner, I think, is one of the best in the league, and Chris Jones does what he wants inside. I think he's very underrated, and I think that's a lot. They really hit. Their defense is really, really good. Offensively, I think they're decent, but they score when they need to score. Not nearly as good as they once were.
So, do you think Kansas City, the Chiefs, is a dynasty?
Yes, already. I think they have went to the championship game, I think, 7 consecutive years. I mean, that's unbelievable. They're in the Super Bowl again. If they absolutely win this year, and I don't know if they will, but I think that'll definitely call it a dynasty.
Do you got any early thoughts on the NFL season next year? Like, what do you think going to happen? You think the same team's going to be in the playoffs, and do you think that they're going to win again next year, or do you think they will ever have any competition in the AFC? And do you think the NFC can do anything? What are your thoughts?
I think the AFC is going to stay the same for a little while here. Mahomes isn't going anywhere. Lamar's not going anywhere. Josh Allen's not going anywhere. And it's a matter of Burrow or CJ Stroud. I think you're going to see those same 5 teams in the AFC for a while. So I don't think you're going to see a change there. NFC is going to fluctuate a lot. They don't have as good of quarterbacks, and it's just who has the better roster. Philly's pretty good. I think San Fran can bounce back. I think that's one thing we're going to see next year, like the 49ers kind of bounce back. I think Dallas is a mess. I mean,
they hired the offensive coordinator, Schottenheimer. The thing is, they coach always hire people that kiss his butt, that do what he wants them to do. Because he the coach, basically. He should just coach the team.
Jones used to be a good owner, man, but he's just, doing just wild stuff. I mean, he gives a press conference after every game. No coach wants to deal with that. Even, like, Mike McCarthy, like, he just like, I'm not even taking a job. You just go ahead.
He said, I'm taking the year off.
He had enough. I got enough money. I don't need this crazy 80-year-old guy acting all simple on being a simpleton every week for this bad team he's giving me. I'm going home.
Well, he actually took a year off from coaching because of him. That's like a relationship. You have a bad breakup and then you just leave and everything. It's like, I'm gonna take a year off. I'm not gonna date anybody.
Yeah, that's like a lot of women do that. I'm finding myself after this.
Yeah,
guy.
Exactly.
I'm finding myself.
Until somebody got money.
Until somebody got money. Until somebody got money, then I'm celibate, right?
Yeah, exactly. They're like, I'm back in the game now.
Yeah, unless it's right.
Yeah, so let's talk about the Super Bowl. What is your prediction? Do you think that Philadelphia will win and start their own dynasty, or do you think Kansas City going to repeat?
Everything tells me it. If you look at football, watching the rosters and watching the way I have all these years, that Philadelphia should win. I'm having a hard time going against Mahomes, man. I really am, Dion. I mean, it's.
They got you drinking the Kool-Aid too, Charles. Man, what happened to Charles, man?
I'm telling you, it is. Like I said this, I keep making Bulls references, but I want to make one more. Like 93, right? I thought for sure the Knicks was going to beat the Bulls, right? They had Doc Rivers, they had Ewing, they had Oka. They brought all these players in. They're going to beat the Bulls, man. No way it's going to three-peat. No way. They win the first 2 games, and then it was over. And I kind of get this feeling with Mahomes in Kansas City. Like, as much as we keep saying it, it's hard to go against them when they keep proving everybody wrong. I'm having a hard time. I mean, I don't bet money on the games anymore, but if I wouldn't bet money that going against Mahomes. I can't do that. So
what you think? What you think the score going to be? Because the games are always close.
I say Kansas City 28. I think Philadelphia 25. If I had a score prediction, I think it's going to be really close.
Well, I think Philadelphia need to run the ball because the thing is, you got to eat clock from him. And I think Philadelphia, the Barkley dude, I don't think Kansas City can stop the running game. I know they haven't gave up more than 80 yards, but they never faced a running back like Barkley. I think that he got 200 yards. I don't think they can stop him at all, and I don't think they can stop the receivers because they only got one good cornerback. The other ones are decent, but the Eagles got 3. They got a dream team, an all-time team, like back in the day with the dream team in the NBA. I think if Philadelphia don't win, I don't think nobody gonna beat them in the league ever because they the most talented team that they gonna play.
I agree with you. Saquon is the X factor here because he's the one thing that they didn't have before when they played in the Super Bowl. Yeah. So they had Saquon Barkley. That matters a lot.
Well, the thing is, they're gonna have to stack the box, and the thing is, they're gonna have wide open receivers all over the field. Because I think Kelsey, if you neutralize him, I don't think Kansas City got an offensive team like them. I think they got to get a lead. I think teams that play Kansas City, they need to get like a 2-touchdown lead or a touchdown lead. That way you could ease into the game. Because when it's like tight, then you tighten up, and then you get you get that anxiety, and you get you get tight,
I agree with that. I think too. You mentioned the pass game.
Yeah.
Philly don't throw the ball a lot. I mean, they run pretty much all the time. I mean, they run like they'll have 30 carries and 15 passes. So even with those great receivers that they have, I mean, they don't throw the ball. They're gonna have to go through Saquon if they want to beat Kansas City. Keep Mahomes off the field, have some big plays in the run game, etc. I think KC does have those great corners to really help with that pass game. I love Trent McDuffie. That's cool.
Well, he the only good corner on the team because Snead went to Tennessee. So I think the thing is, the receivers and the tight end, I think they're gonna have a field day against the Kansas City Chiefs because they are bad against tight ends. Tight ends have very good games against them. And they are bad against the running game. They can stop the receivers, but they can't stop the run like that. And then they bad against tight ends. Tight ends always have field days against their defense.
I really think Chris Jones is a tough matchup for anybody, though. It really is.
Yeah, but he never played the offensive line like him, and he one player. They gonna double team him. And the thing is, with them running the ball, they gonna tire the defense out. That's like they gonna tire them out if they keep running the ball. They gonna make them stop them, and then they gonna stop the run. But guess what? The receiver's gonna be wide open because the football field is only one field. 100 yards.
Yeah.
So you can't keep up with everybody.
You got to put them away, Kansas City. If you're going to get into a close game down the stretch, you made some great points there, but I still don't like it going against 15 down the stretch in a close game like that. I definitely do think they do have an edge in two areas, head coach and quarterback. Mahomes and Andy Reid scheming up, that's a big thing. That's the difference with that. Go ahead.
Well, I think they gotta hit him too, and the referee's gonna play a big part too. If the referees don't give him the calls, they're gonna struggle to move the ball because they're not gonna be able to keep drives alive. Because the thing is, when referees help them out sometimes too in a lot of these games,
they're gonna get They're gonna get the calls. We already know.
Well, they shouldn't.
we already know it.
I think they need to have replay in the NFL. Technology should get calls right because these are big games and people's livelihoods. Career legacy on the line.
I agree, but I think that's just how it is. I say that to people. I know people don't like that; they think it's a conspiracy and they paid off. And I had a friend always say, "Oh, they were paid off and he got paid." No, it's great players get that. That's always the case in any sport. Barry Bonds, Tom Brady, that's the way it goes, and that's certainly the case with Kansas City.
Well, it was great having you on, Charles, man. Appreciate it, man.
It's great talking to you, Dion. Always asking the tough questions. I appreciate you, young guy.
Well, I'm supposed to, man. at least this ain't no stand or a trial, man.
Yeah.
They're like, did you see that guy do this to her, man? What are you talking about?
I thought for sure you were gonna ask me about Justin Tucker. I thought for sure you were gonna go there. I was ready for you.
I wanted to ask about TD Jackson and the pastor, man. If he did, man.
That's a whole nother subject. That's a whole nother subject with
it is crazy out here, man. I'm glad I'm not in Hollywood, man.
Me neither.
They making a lot of mans like mans. Fame ain't always good,
I agree with you. I agree. People come after you when you have money.
Superstar.
you have a lot of money and I don't. So you probably know this already, but
No,
like,
Charles, you got one right. We get out of here, Charles.
you have a lot of money.
I need some of your money, man. I need some of your money, Charles.
When you succeed in life, like people come after you, and that's just the truth. Or when you succeed,
that's why you got to keep your nose clean and not do stupid stuff.
Yeah, like what you just talk about with the women. Wait till your channel hits like 10,000, 15,000. They're gonna be like, you know, they're gonna give you the hey big head, hey Dion. How's it?
And I'm not gonna talk to them at all. I'm not gonna talk to them at all. I'm say, no, thank you. Have a good day. I'm gonna say, go talk to those bad guys. You know, they'll really listen to you and pay you attention. They'll be there. They'll be there tomorrow, but the next day they gonna find another woman and leave you.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation about women. But that's what these players get all the time. Like women trying to always set them up. I mean, you asked me before about Joy Taylor and all that stuff. That's what they do. I'm not saying everybody. I'm not saying everybody. I've been in a 20-year marriage at this point, so I'm pretty.
That's good, Charles. That's good. You don't got to go on no Tinder or worry about nothing, man. That's great. No, good for you, man.
Yeah, I've never actually done that. Being on Tinder. That gives my own age away. It didn't even exist really, like in 04, 03 and all.
Yeah, I'm young, Charles. I'm in my 20s, man.
Oh, okay. All right. I know you're a young guy. I could, yeah. But you out here getting it, so I appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you too, man. But it was nice having you on, man.
All right. Thank you, sir. You have a good day.
You too.